one of the biggest frustrations I get with business owners who inquire as to selling the business, so they make an inquiry to us, we go, we discuss it with them, it's a business of interest to us, we just can't quite agree on the commercials, and it kind of goes stale. The frustrating things, having been involved in hundreds and hundreds of deals over the last 15 years, is when, in particular in circumstances like this, where the seller chases the market down. So they chase the market down, believing that tomorrow things are going to all come around as soon as they get back to a decent month's trading. Any credible buyer will not take a single month's trading into account. So the market we find ourselves in at the moment, if we've got here that March 20, just before lockdown, was the height of the market. So that was at the highest value for a majority of businesses. Even in our sector, a number of businesses were doing particularly well. The value of their business was good, the EBITDA, the revenues were growing, their EBITDA was up, and the multiples being paid for multiple of EBITDA being paid for the value of the business was particularly high. So if March 20 was the height of the market, then what we see is that most folk believe that we're on a 3-year recovery. You take the aviation industry, for example, they don't believe we're going to get back to pre-COVID levels anytime before 2023. So there's a 3-year lag, if you like, from where they were pre-COVID to where we're going to be. Now, that they're not alone in thinking that it's going to take that length of time. So if we assume that to get back to any sort of normality for travelling and business and commerce as it was pre-COVID, it's a 3-year lull, a 3-year lag period, then what we have is we've got the height of the market being just here. So if that's revenue, the height of revenues for most businesses was up there. And we've seen a massive decline in revenue, and we hope to get that back steadily up to 2023. Now the line could vary, but if that's the reality, and we've got then similarly, if we've got EBITDA, so if we have EBITDA multiples following a similar trajectory, what you then need to see is that sellers who missed the boat, effectively missed the boat pre-COVID crisis, the values for all businesses, particularly in our sector, have gone down, our businesses included. That's just where it is at the moment. So if you're looking to exit your business in any time soon, waiting a couple of months is going to have a nil effect. In actual fact, we are able to take a long-term view on it because we take a long-term view on acquiring businesses and bringing them together over a period of time. So if we've got a 5-year plan, we can see beyond these variances across the time scale. So from here, we've got a situation whereby any potential seller has missed the boat, the business's value has been affected. Businesses like ours can see beyond that, but the further you get away from here, March 20, unless the seller is prepared to see it through to March 24, and it needs to be 24 because as a buyer, I want to see a full trading year's worth of activity and EBITDA levels before I'm going to pay anything like the multiples that were paid here previously. So the long and short of it is the pre-COVID levels and prices being paid and activity in the market was very good for a number of businesses within our sector. That has completely changed over the coming months and years, and it could take as long as 4 years based on what the market's telling us before we can get back to pre-COVID levels. So if anyone's looking to sell their business now, my advice would be don't wait to chase the market down if you're looking to sell within the next 2 to 3 years. The further away we're getting away from March 20, the longer, the worse it's going to get in terms of the value that we would put to the business, or the value that the business is worth based on up-to-date financials. We can see beyond that, and a lot of negotiations we've been involved in recently, we're able to take and accept March up to March 20 numbers, because we can see beyond that over the next few years. But the further we get away from that, as I say, the less likely we are, and we're going to look for up-to-date financials, and we will not, because the EBITDA levels have reduced during this time, and there has to be a full year's trading history is what we're looking at as a minimum. We generally look at 3 years, but we'll take the most recent years, and particularly in the current crisis. What we'll do here is the EBITDA levels, and one of the furthest thing is this is questionable. So if you don't have to sell your business and you're prepared to hang it out for the long term, fine. To get back to that level, absolutely fine. If you're needing to sell your business, you want to sell your business is in distress, or you have concern about the business, holding on for a couple of months, whether it's for 6 months, next year, will do absolutely no difference to the value of the business. In actual fact, it will make it worse, because if you come back to us, for example, because we're so far away from March 20 now, our valuation of the business has gone down from where we are now, not up. And our valuation in terms of multiples of EBITDA will have gone down also. So it's a double whammy on the price that we or others would be prepared on the business. So to sum this up, the biggest frustration, and it's a delusion, because people delude themselves, that I'll just wait until I've had a few months of back to almost normal activity. Do not do that. You're chasing the market down. You are devaluing the business in the short to medium term. But if you're prepared to hang it out, as we are, for the long term, then you would hope, but that is questionable to that actual date.